Financial Services Regulatory Framework, Advanced Examination, Edition 3, February 2018. This learning manual relates to Syllabus version 3.0 and will cover examinations from the 1st of April 2018. Foreword. The Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, CySEC, is an independent public supervisory authority assigned the responsibility for the overall supervision of the securities market and of the transactions in transferable securities carried out in the Republic of Cyprus. Its aim is to ensure high standards of investor protection, to safeguard the integrity, fairness, and transparency of the operation of the securities market, and to promote the steady development of the securities sector. As of the 9th of November 2012, pursuant to Law L. 154-1/2012, CySEC was appointed as the authority responsible for conducting the examinations for the certification of persons employed by investment firms, credit institutions, management companies, variable capital investment companies, and alternative investment fund managers that are engaged in the provision of investment services and the performance of specific functions, as specified in the new framework set up by CySEC. This workbook was prepared in the context of the CySEC certification procedure and the registration of persons in the public registry, as described in Directive 174/2015 as amended, which can be found on CySEC's website. The aim of the examinations is to ensure that candidates can apply an appropriate level of knowledge and understanding of the financial services regulatory framework that will assist them in the performance of their duties. The basic examination concerns individuals who wish to be certified only for the investment services of reception and transmission and execution of orders, and for the marketing of collective investment schemes. The advanced examination concerns individuals who wish to be certified for all the investment services or activities of paragraph 4 of the directive. The preparation of the examinations and of this workbook has been assigned to the Consortium of the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment, CISI, UK, and the Cyprus International Institute of Management, CIIM, Cyprus. The CISI is accredited by the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, as an accredited body for the awarding of statements of professional standing, and is recognised by the UK Education Regulator, Ofqual, as a body for awarding qualifications. CISI has prepared local regulatory examinations for the financial services sector, production of syllabus, workbook and study material, and online examinations for a number of international regulators as well as for the FCA. CIIM is a non-profit international business school established in 1990 by a group of business leaders and a team of leading academics representing some of the world's best business schools. The aim of this workbook is to ensure that candidates gain a comprehensive understanding of the examination content. The workbook provides thorough preparation for the examination it refers to, and it is compulsory for candidates to use it in order to prepare for the CySEC exams so that they have the best chance of success. We would like to wish you every success in your studies. Dimitra Kalogarou, Chairman, Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission. Glossary. Alternative Investment Fund, AIF, a collective investment scheme, CIS, as defined by the Alternative Investment Fund Manager, AIFMD. Alternative Investment Fund Manager, AIFM, a firm authorized and regulated by CySEC for the provision of fund management control of an alternative investment fund. Best execution. The financial institution needs to obtain the best price for a trade in the shortest possible time. It is a precautionary measure placed on financial institutions to ensure they meet their clients' best interests. Capital adequacy. Amount of capital a financial institution is required to hold as prescribed by the regulator. Collective Investment Scheme, CIS. A generic term encompassing authorized unit trusts, common investment funds, CISs, and investment trust companies. Compliance function. Operates independently and is responsible for monitoring and assessing the adequacy and effectiveness of the policies and procedures, and advising and assisting of the relevant persons responsible for carrying out investment services and activities. Cypriot Investment Firm, CIF, a company that is established in Cyprus and authorized by the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, CySEC, to provide one or more investment services to third parties and or perform one or more investment activities. Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, CySEC. CySEC operates on the basis of the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, Establishment and Responsibilities, law, and is the supervisory authority of investment firms, IFs. Depository. Party assigned with the safekeeping of the assets. The depository has the function of the treasurer. Disaster recovery. The process of regaining access to the data, hardware, and software necessary to resume critical business operation after a natural or human-induced disaster. Eligible counterparties. Authorized financial institution and national government and their corresponding offices. European Securities and Markets Authority, ESMA. An EU authority which is responsible both for drafting the legislation and for guiding it through EU implementation, overseeing national implementation and enforcement. Feeder Undertaking for Collective Investment in Transferable Securities, UCITS. UCITS, or investment compartment of a UCITS that has been approved to invest at least 85% of its total net assets in UCITS or other collective investment funds. Inducement. Receipt of a fee, commission, or non-monetary benefit specifically aimed at the bank making an investment decision without consideration whether this is in the best interest of the client. Inside information. Information of a precise nature which has not been made public, relating directly or indirectly to one or more issuers of financial instruments or to one or more financial instruments, and which, if it were made public, would be likely to have, in the opinion of CySEC, a significant effect on the prices of those financial instruments or on the price of related derivative financial instruments. Integration. Third and final step in the money laundering process. At this final stage, the layering has been successful, and the ultimate beneficiary appears to be holding legitimate funds, clean money rather than dirty money. The money is regarded as integrated into the legitimate financial system. Investor Compensation Fund. Fund to secure the claims of the covered clients against the members of the fund through the payment of compensation. Layering. Second stage of the money laundering process. Involves moving the money around in order to make it difficult for the authorities to link the placed funds with the ultimate beneficiary of the money. This may involve buying and selling foreign currencies, shares, or bonds in rapid succession, investing in CISs or insurance-based investment products, or moving the money from one country to another. Management company. Company managing one or more UCITS, collective investment schemes, or VCICs. Market manipulation. A. Transactions or orders that give or are likely to give false or misleading signals regarding the demand, supply, or price of financial instruments. B. Transactions or orders that secure or are likely to secure an abnormal or artificial price level for a financial instrument. C. Transactions or orders which employ fictitious devices or any other form of deception or contrivance. D. Dissemination of information which gives or is intended to give false or misleading signals in relation to a financial instrument, and when the person knew or ought to have known that the information was false or misleading. Master Undertaking for Collective Investment in Transferable Securities, UCITS. UCITS or investment compartment of a UCITS which has at least one feeder UCITS under its unit holders, is not a feeder UCITS and does not hold units of a feeder UCITS. Member State, State within the European Union, EU. Pillar 1. The rules in the new Basel Capital Accord that define the minimum ratio of capital to risk-weighted assets. Pillar 2. The supervisory review pillar of the new Basel Capital Accord, which requires supervisors to undertake a qualitative review of a bank's capital allocation techniques and compliance with relevant standards. Placement. First stage of a money laundering process. Introduction of the money into the financial system. Typically, this involves placing the criminally derived cash into a bank or a cooperative credit institution account, a bureau de change, or any other type of enterprise which can accept cash, such as a casino. Professional clients. Clients that meet the following criteria. 1. Entities required to be authorized or regulated to operate in the financial markets, including those authorized by an EU member state. 2. Large undertakings meeting two of the following size requirements. A. Balance sheet total at least €20 million. B. Net turnover at least €40 million. C. Own funds at least €2 million. 3. National and regional governments, public bodies managing public debt, central banks, international and supranational institutions and other similar international organizations. 4. Other institutional investors whose main activity is to invest in financial instruments. Regulated markets. Multilateral system managed or operated by a market operator that brings together or facilitates the bringing together of multiple third-party buying and or selling interests in financial instruments. Risk management. The risk management function is responsible for the implementation and maintenance of adequate risk management policies and procedures that enable the bank to identify all risks they are subject to and risk tolerance levels will be set. Senior management. Persons who are in the position to directly or indirectly exercise significant influence over management. Supervisory review and evaluation process, SREP. The processes and measures applied to ensure that SIFs have sufficient capital to support all material risks to which their business exposes them. Tied agents. A person established in a member state who, acting under the full and unconditional responsibility of only one IF of a member state, on whose behalf it acts, promotes investment or and ancillary services, attracts clients or prospective clients, receives and transmits client orders in respect of investment services or financial instruments, places financial instruments or and provides advice to clients or prospective clients in respect of those financial instruments or services. Undertakings for collective investment in transferable securities, UCITS. An undertaking with the sole object of being the collective investment in transferable securities and or other liquid financial instruments, using capital raised from the public, operating on the principle of risk spreading and having units which are redeemed or repurchased out of the undertaking's assets on request of the investor.